2023, Bauer gave us the Vapor HyperLite 2, one of the most popular low kick sticks to ever hit our store. In 2024, Bauer brought us the Twitch, revolutionizing that low kick point with the Twitch taper technology and boron. And in 2025, Bauer has given us the Vapor FLYLITE, combination of some of the best features from this stick with some of its own improvements. Could it be possible that Bauer created the best low kick point stick of all time? Today, we're gonna find out. In this video, we're gonna go through the looks and specs of the Vapor FLYLITE. We're gonna take all three of these sticks, the Twitch, HyperLite, and FLYLITE, and throw them on the scale. We'll see how they stack up against each other. And then I'm gonna take all three into the shooting room, and I'll let you guys know which stick I prefer. Let's go. Disclaimer, before we get into the specs on the Vapor FLYLITE, we are currently upgrading our skate bench, so we're kind of working in an active construction zone. We're upgrading our store, so bear with us. Let's get into the review. All right, let's dive into the looks of this FLYLITE. Now, we're not doing a full unboxing this time because I've actually seen this stick before. I got to test it at Bauer's Vapor Lab event, and I've come to love how this thing looks. So this is a completely new colorway. Vapor's usually known for their red with the little hits of lime green. This time they went with something completely different. It's purple and nitrogen blue, an unreal color combo, super unique. And honestly, I'm a fan of the change. I think it looks unreal. Let's dive into how the graphic looks here. We've got a Vapor logo up top here in light blue with this kind of almost, it kind of looks like almost burnt metal with this kind of wave it's got going on there. Sliding down here, we've got the Bauer logos in this kind of white silvery chrome. Of course, a sick FLYLITE logo on top. And then on the back here, a really nice Vapor logo. So when you're sellying, kind of flashes in the light, pretty cool. And then down on the bottom, another FLYLITE logo. And one of my favorite parts about this graphic is how much of the stick you can actually see through the graphic. We've got these carbon checkers all over the stick. When you actually look at it, the graphic is pretty minimal. If you're looking at the stick from the top down, halfway down the stick, it's all black, which is nice when you're looking down at the stick while you're stick handling. But if you flip it over, we've got the flashiness on the backhand and then the flashiness at the top. You're kind of getting the best of both worlds. It's really cool. Now, we've talked about the looks. Let's dive into the specs. And we're gonna start with the kick point. Just like Vapor sticks in the past, this stick is a... Sorry, as I was saying, this stick has the low kick point that we've seen in other Vapor sticks, but it's got some tricks up his sleeve. This now features the Twitch taper technology that we saw on the Bauer Twitch from Bauer's innovation line. That means the taper goes higher up on the stick. That's gonna be closer to your bottom hand, which allows you to load your shots quicker, and it allows the stick to recoil faster. Paired with that Twitch taper technology, Bauer has put an aluminum sheet inside this blade. That's gonna allow the balance of the stick to be really nice. It's gonna keep that blade lightweight, but it's also gonna add rigidity and stiffness where you want it, right here in the blade. It's gonna have some nice pop when you're shooting the puck. I think these two things paired together are gonna be the perfect recipe for a great shooting stick. Now, a carryover from the older Vapor sticks, this still has that round shaped shaft, so it's gonna have those rounded corners. This offers a really nice hand feel. I think it's really good for stick handling. You can kind of roll the stick in your hand, so I'm a fan of that for sure. Now let's take a look at some of these older models and go through the history of what makes the FLYLITE the FLYLITE. First up, we've got the Vapor HyperLite 2, the predecessor to the FLYLITE. Now this is obviously going to share some specs with the HyperLite 2 being the successor to the stick, but it's also been improved in some ways. And it also features some specs from this stick, the Twitch. This is from Bauer's innovation line. It's carrying over that Twitch taper technology, like I said. So it's almost as if this Twitch and the HyperLite 2 morphed into one, got some improvements, and out came the FLYLITE. This FLYLITE is feeling pretty light and really balanced, but I'm not actually sure of the exact weight. We've got these other sticks here. We're gonna take all three of them, put them on the scale, and see how they stack up. All right, we're back in the official Hockey Shop stick weighing laboratory. We've got all three sticks, HyperLite 2, FLYLITE, and the Twitch. These are all the same specs, except the Twitch is a P28 curve, not a P90 TM, but this stick is also made of boron, so it's kind of an outlier anyways. I don't think it's gonna make a difference. We're gonna throw each of them on the scale. We'll see how they weigh against each other. Let's do it. First up, HyperLite 2. 368. Okay, 368 on the HyperLite 2 Senior 70 Flicks. Next up, second oldest stick. We're going Twitch here. Now this is made of boron. Let's see how much of a weight difference it makes. 357. Definitely lighter. That boron does the trick. And now the new FLYLITE. Now one thing I'll say about the weight of this stick, I'm not actually sure if it's gonna be lighter than the Twitch, but one thing I will notice is really nice balance on this stick. Let's see what it weighs. 363, so directly in between the two sticks. That makes sense, it's not boron, but it is lighter than its predecessor, the HyperLite 2, so a nice middle ground for the FLYLITE. All right, we're in the shooting room. We're gonna test out the FLYLITE, the Twitch, and the HyperLite 2. We're gonna shoot 10 pucks each. We'll see if we can feel a difference between the sticks. Now, something a little different in this video, I've actually been using the FLYLITE. I got to test it out at the Bauer Vapor Live event, so I actually already have an opinion on this stick. So while I'm shooting the pucks with the FLYLITE, I'll let you know what I think of it so far. All right, FLYLITE's up first. Let's get some stick handles. Like I was saying, I've tested this stick already. The puck feel is really nice. I love that round shaped shaft that comes on the Vapor sticks. Really good for stick handling. Let's take some shots. All right, this thing feels just as good in the shooting room as it does on the ice. I really love the aluminum they added to the blade. It adds for a lot of pop off the blade. It feels nice and rigid, not a lot of flimsiness or flex in the blade, which is what you want when you're shooting the puck. Paired with that Twitch taper technology, it allows for a really easy release. I was shooting the pucks as hard as I could, but it actually doesn't take a lot of effort to get the puck to fly off of this stick. It's almost effortless, feels really nice. That Twitch taper paired with that blade makes for a really good shooting stick. But speaking of really good shooting sticks, we've got a couple in the corner over there, the Twitch and the HyperLite 2, its older brother. So let's test out that HyperLite 2 next. All right, now we've got the older brother, the HyperLite 2. Let's test it out. Obviously, shaft shape very similar, so puck feel is almost the same. I will say that Vapor FLYLITE maybe is a little bit more lively. You might be able to feel the puck a little bit more through that stick, but let's take some shots with the HyperLite 2. All right, HyperLite 2, obviously a very nice stick, but I will say I can notice a difference with this not having that Twitch taper. It's still easy to shoot, but it's not quite as effortless as that FLYLITE. And that FLYLITE feels a little bit more lively than this stick as well. That might have to do with the aluminum in the blade, but overall, I think the FLYLITE's definitely an upgrade from the HyperLite 2. Now, we've got one more stick in the corner. This was a hot stick from last season, the Twitch. Let's test it out. All right, the Twitch. Now this is gonna be an interesting comparison because both this stick and the FLYLITE have that Twitch taper technology, but the Twitch does not have the aluminum in the blade. And one of the biggest differences, the Twitch is fully made of boron. Now I've come to love Bauer's boron sticks, but one thing I've noticed whenever I shoot them, they do feel a little bit more stiff and require a little bit more effort to shoot the puck compared to their regular sticks. So let's see how this one feels. Puck feel is good. Again, the puck feel is good. Again, we're dealing with round shaped shafts here, so they all feel pretty similar. shoot very good there. All right, so my shots clearly weren't as good with this stick. There might be a bit of user error, but one thing I will say is the Twitch does not have the same effortless release that the FLYLITE does. I think that's due to the boron. Now these boron sticks have some unreal pop and they're super lightweight, but I do find the boron sticks require a little bit more effort to shoot than Bauer's traditional sticks. So for that reason, I'm gonna say the FLYLITE stick has that more effortless shot, and I think I like it a little bit better. All right, we've got all 3 sticks here. They're all great. To be honest, I don't think you could go wrong with either one. I think it comes down to some personal preference, but I'm gonna give you my rankings here. Number 1, we're going FLYLITE, and honestly, it's an easy choice for me. I think this stick kind of has the best of both worlds. It's got that Twitch taper that we love from the Twitch, unreal release, and then it's got that aluminum blade with some added rigidity. The puck just flies off this thing. It's definitely in my number 1 spot, no question. Now in my 2nd spot, although I didn't shoot as well with it today as I normally would, I'm going with the Twitch. I've actually been using this as my personal stick last season, and I've come to really love it. That boron pop is unreal once you get used to it. And then we have the HyperLite 2. This is still a great stick, and it's a great one to get on sale while you can, but I think you can definitely tell a difference between the 2 sticks that came after it. All right, we tested the all-new FLYLITE. Now it's time to give it a score on our rating system based on looks, shooting, and stick handling. All 3 are out of 10, so let's start with stick handling. I'm gonna give this a 9.6 out of 10. Stick handling felt really good with that round shaft shape. Shooting, this thing rips. I'm gonna give it a 9.8 out of 10. And looks, this thing is really sick. I might have to do it. We're giving it our first ever 10 out of 10 on the looks. This thing is sick. That brings us to a final score of 9.8 out of 10 on the Vapor FLYLITE. All right, so it seems like Bauer knocked it out of the park with the FLYLITE, making one of the best low kick sticks I've tested in a long time. It's got some of the best features from some of their other sticks, including that Twitch taper, but it's also got some new tech with that aluminum in the blade, so it's kind of the best of both worlds. If you want to get yours, stop by the Hockey Shop or go to thehockeyshop.com and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.